Hello world, Shelly here, and we've got an extra foundation fix for you this week because there are so many new releases I cannot keep up. We are going to check out the Smashbox Studio Skin Full Coverage 24-Hour Foundation. I have this in the shade 1.1, which is described as fair light with neutral undertones. This comes in 40 different shades, retails for $36. They don't say how much product you get on the website. Yep, it is 1 fluid ounce, 30 mil, typical standard size. On Sephora's website, this is currently getting 4.1 out of 5 stars with 484 reviews, claims it is exclusive to Sephora. And a lot of you have been asking for this because I believe Tati claimed it was the best foundation of life. Now, I do not watch other people's reviews before I do my own because I want to do my own and then I go back and watch everybody else. So that is all I know about this foundation. Clearly, the Tati effect is happening because tons and tons of shades are out of stock on Sephora's website. The brand describes this as a weightless 24-hour full coverage foundation with oil and shine control that is also waterproof, sweat resistant, and will not look cakey or cause blemishes. Now, normally I would run away from something like that, but they claim this is for normal, dry, combo, and oily. Notice they did say dry. When you go under the how to use section on the website, they recommend for normal combo oily skin, apply a primer first. Of course, they recommend their own. For dry skin, they recommend apply a moisturizer and a primer. Well, good thing I do that anyway. So I'm going to try it out. I'm going to have high hopes. I have no idea what is going to happen, but this one's really interesting. So first off, Smashbox is a cruelty-free brand. How did I not know that? I thought they weren't. And then I read in the product claims that this was cruelty-free. And I'm like, better go to Fear.net and check this out because I don't think this brand is. Usually when a brand claims they're cruelty-free but they don't make it onto the cruelty-free lists, it's because they sell their product in mainland China. Mainland China requires by law that products be available for aftermarket animal testing. So no matter what, if you sell in China, you are putting your products up for accepting the law of animal testing. So that is why a lot of those brands are considered not cruelty-free. But it is cruelty-free, and if Fear says so, I believe it. The other interesting thing, the ingredients on this. This is not your typical silicone-based foundation. There's a lot of copolymers as the ingredients. It is free of sulfates, SLS, SLES. It's free of parabens, no formaldehydes, no formaldehyde-releasing agents, no phthalates, no retinol, retinil palmitate, no coal tar, no hydroquinone, less than 1% of synthetic fragrances, and I did not see additional fragrance listed on the actual ingredient list. Highlighting ingredients are kaolin clay with bamboo powder to control oil and shine, hyaluronic acid, good for moisturization and retaining water in the skin, and vitamin E to prevent against environmental aggressors. Rawr. So this just looks really, really, really interesting. Let's take a look at shade 1.1, swatched against a few others in my collection. Sometimes we swatch when it's not even Friday. First up is today's foundation. This is the Smashbox Full Coverage 24-Hour Wear Foundation in shade 1.1, Fair Light Neutral. Second, I've got, for reference, the Smashbox Studio Skin Hydrating Foundation in shade 1.0. Third is the MAC Studio Sculpt in NW15. Fourth, I've got the Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place in 1C1 Cool Bone. And last, I've got the Anastasia Beverly Hills Luminous Foundation in shade 140 Neutral. I've already cleansed, moisturized, sunscreened my 44-year-old mug here. I've got some sun damage, deeper smile lines, forehead lines the foundation likes to settle into, pores that scream, some texture between my eyebrows. That's what I'm going to cover up. I've got, already primed, Smashbox Photo Finish Primerizer. You know, this was a favorite forever, and I just found it because the cats knocked it underneath the little 3-tier stand that I have some of my bottles on my vanity here, and it got stuck underneath there. And that's why I haven't used it. Can you hear Merlin? He doesn't like being locked out. Now, the other interesting thing about the instructions for this foundation, they say start with 1 drop, blend it out, and within 60 seconds it will set down and reveal its true color. That sounds terrifying, but that makes me think we need to go little by little by little with this one. So I'm not going to pump a whole bunch of it out onto the palette. I think this is a squeezy tube because I don't want it to sit and oxidize here. I think I'm going to go little by little, pump a little, go, pump a little, go. I've got a dampened Real Techniques sponge for one side of my face. The other side I've got an It Cosmetics brush. It is not dirty. This sort of peach color, whatever this is, supposedly there's some skincare in the brush. I don't know. I think it's a giant gimmick, but it's not a dirty brush, I swear. It is my last clean brush, but it's not dirty, I promise. But let's see. Just go a little bit. All right, it's thick. She thick. This one definitely does start setting down right away, and once it is set down, don't touch it. Let it be. Definitely nice medium coverage right out of the gate, even with 1 pass and a sponge. I think I've completely canceled out redness on that side of my face, which is nice. It's clinging a little strangely, like it doesn't want to stick to this little part of my upper lip. We'll see if we can fix that later, because they do say put down a layer, let it set, and then build as needed. So let's leave that side and try the brush side. I think coverage is about the same one side to the other. I do slightly prefer the application with the brush. I think you have a little bit more control over the blending process, and because you have to work in small areas and quickly with this, the brush kind of gives you a little bit more control and less of a chance of going over a set spot with a damp sponge, which seems to make it sort of cake up a little bit when you do that. So I would say stick with the dry brush. I just want to go back and get the little area that messed up with the sponge here, a little more coverage right around here. I'm really liking the overall coverage so far. I think it's solid medium. My nose looks a little bit heavy. It's just kind of sitting on top of the skin in that area, but let me see if I can get... The texture of this is really odd. It's almost a paste, but then it blends right out. It's really strange. Also, it seems lighter pressure with the brush as opposed to firm pressure works better. See, it doesn't really wipe off. It's on my finger, and like once it sets down, it stays put. Little random tidbit for you guys. I just filmed these swatches for this, and usually I take a makeup wipe and 1 pass over my arm to get rid of my swatches. This is the Smashbox swatch, even after going over it with a makeup wipe. So it does stay in place pretty doggone good. On the upside, it looks super beautiful in the monitor. On the downside, up close, it looks like makeup on top of the skin. I'm not getting super great coverage on my chin. I've got some redness coming through, and that tends to happen on me. Same with the area kind of around my nose and sort of my upper lip. My cheeks look very nice except for where I can see product on top of the skin. I feel like it is sort of smoothing everything out, but it's doing so up close where you can see the makeup doing that. I've got redness coming through on my nose. It's really not working very well on my nose. It's kind of almost going into polka dot pores, and we've got some redness coming through. It's also kind of clinging to some pore areas on my forehead that it just didn't want to quite blend out. This is just a really interesting one. I feel like it's also probably the kind of foundation that maybe it takes a few times to get used to how it wants to be applied, and once you're used to it, it works better. But on the monitor, it looks really, really nice. Now, this is a neutral undertone. I feel like I do wish I got a cool undertone because I feel like it's a little bit yellow toned compared to my neck, but so far in this lighting, I think the lightness to darkness is accurate. Let's check the time. Where's my phone? No idea where my phone is. 1:40. I'm gonna go put the rest of my face on. I'll be right back. Okay, this foundation feels super lightweight. It looks like a lot of makeup just sitting on top of my skin, unfortunately. Although I think at a distance it looks really nice. I did set just this part of my cheeks and my hairline because it stayed a little grippy. Like I felt like I wasn't going to be able to blend powder over it. And so I set that area using... Where did it go? Did I put it away? I put it away. My Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish, and that helped blend. I just stabbed myself in the face. But the foundation did not move. So that helped with blending. Everything seemed to blend just fine. The powder, I don't think, makes it look any different, really. Sometimes that powder can help smooth things out on me. I think it looks pretty much the same as it did. I just feel like... Well, there's another issue, and that is, for example, I had missed an area above my brows where I was blending, so there was like a bare patch of, bright, pale pink skin sticking through there. And I tried to take a little product and dab it in, and it really did not want to blend with what was already there that was already set down. So you really have to be careful to make sure you've got coverage everywhere, even blending everywhere, because if you don't, you're going to have, like, there's a little patch right over here that I had a little bit heavier that I didn't blend as well that now just looks darker than everything else. So it's a really finicky kind of, because it sets down so fast, and you really just have to work quickly and get it into place. So I'm not a huge fan of that. And I feel like my skin looks a little dehydrated. That's where like my micro wrinkles start coming out, and where you start seeing like micro lines where my crow's feet are. I don't have very deep crow's feet at all, and they really only come out when my skin is dehydrated. Now that I've been wearing this, it's been about an hour. I'm also filming a review of, where did it go? It's the cutest packaging of life. The Benefit Boing Cakeless Concealer. It looks like a pencil, you guys. I can't. I really can't. It's just a friggin' beautiful. But, this one, I think it's nice at a distance, and up close I really don't like how it looks. And it's lightweight, but I just feel a little dehydrated. My nose is kind of a hot mess. It's not transferring at all. Like, when I said I stabbed myself just a minute ago, like, my nail scraped across my face, and I don't think it moved the product, so that's good. But this one's going to be iffy. My nose itches right here, right now. And I can't itch it. On the rest of my face, we've got the usual suspects. My blush bronzer highlight, Balm Desert bronzer, Cheek to Chic, Charlotte Tilbury nipple blush, Natasha Denona Super Glow. My eyes, I'm trying out for the first time. I had gotten this in the Charlotte Tilbury mystery box thing, the Icon eyeshadow palette. I am using this third row right here, and I like it. This is a bit neutral for my normal makeup looks. I usually go for more color, but everything was beautiful. My lip is a combo of the Revlon Ultra HD Vinyl Lip Polish in the shade... You'd think I would look these up beforehand. Act Natural. And then to just kind of plumb it up a tiny bit to go with the shade I used under my lash line, I've got these are the L'Oreal Color Riche Plump and Shines, and I've got this in 105 Mulberry. Okay, so that is what is going on here. Oh, also using this for the second time, the It Cosmetics Lash Blowout. I liked it the first time. I like it even more the second time. This is a really, really pretty mascara. It's kind of like my lashes got a blowout. They look all wispy and like delicate but bold, kind of. Yeah, we're gonna say that. I'll be back in a little bit with a daylight check-in, then I will come back tonight and give you guys my final thoughts. Hey guys, daylight check-in here. It is about 6:20 p.m. So we're at about the 6-hour mark. Let's see how the Smashbox is holding up. Why do I always look like Elvis on this side? Always. Color match I think is fine. You know, here's my colors. Dun da da. Yeah, color I think is fine. Could be a smidge dark for like the parts of my skin that never see the sun. But other than that, the parts of my skin that do see the sun, like my forearms, I think the match is fine. Unfortunately, you know, you guys kept mentioning Tati, and so I had to go look at her video because I was like, I am not having the same experience with this foundation. And I swear it's a totally different product coming out of the tube. Like, what I'm getting out of the tube has a much drier consistency to it, and I can see that on the way it applies on my face. You know, this is one of those things where I stop and think, you know, is there something to the idea that the people that think it's a big, you know, conspiracy where the PR products that get sent out are better than the actual products that go to retail? I don't know, but let's take a look up close here, because I've just got a lot of areas of cakiness, and my chin is losing coverage, and for something that says it's transfer resistant, like, it transfers right off onto my finger. Like, all of this is just coming right off my chin. You know, blush bronzer highlight, my cheeks look nice. It does look heavy, like I can still see product on the skin, but like it's caking up along my nose here. My whole eyebrow area is just a hot mess. Everything over here, there's just product caking up. I don't know why the iPhone likes to change the colors while I'm zooming in, but all my micro wrinkles are visible on my forehead, which is pretty dehydrated. I'm getting the drag lines. You see how dehydrated my skin is? It's just, it's pretty drying on me, and it's not being transfer resistant. Maybe it just doesn't like the skincare I've got underneath it, but I have the identical skincare on and same sunscreen that I wear all the time under lots of different makeup. So I'm not having Tati's experience with this one. Of course, I will continue to wear it till the end of the night. We'll see how it held up. And, you know, maybe my chin is just being weird, because every place else the coverage still seems to be in place. But I'm not digging this one so far, you guys. We'll see how we are in a few hours. Hey guys, it's Editing Shelly here, and I was able to wear this again the very next day after I recorded this video. I applied it as closely to the way Tati applied it as I could. I used a damp sponge. I used swiping motions instead of bouncing motions. I used less product. I used the regular Smashbox Photo Finish Primer instead of the primerizer. I did extra moisturization in my skincare to help with that, and the result was almost identical to today. For whatever reason, my chin almost completely wore away at around the 6-hour mark. I also did minimal skincare. I just did one serum, moisturizer, sunscreen, that was it. But it still looked cakey. It had less coverage because I used less product. It still wore off completely on my chin. It really wasn't any different. And so I'm pretty confident that this is just how this foundation wears on me. So let's go wrap this thing up. I'll show you the close-ups. 11:34 p.m. That puts us just around the 11-hour mark. Let us take a look at how Let us take a look at how the Smashbox Full Coverage Studio Skin Foundation held up. The things I said earlier still remain true. I think it's lightweight. I think it's very comfortable on the skin. I have doubts about the transfer resistance. Maybe it doesn't like primerizer. It's their own product, but they did say moisturizer followed by primer, and maybe they meant a different primer. I don't know. I do think, let's just take a look. I'm losing some coverage on my chin for sure. A lot of product just transferred away. I've lost coverage around my nose, and this is just overall the kind of foundation that is sitting on top of my skin in a whole lot of places, and as it breaks down, it's just bunching up and caking up. And, you know, that's just not what I expected from this one, I suppose. There are areas of my face that have no product. There are areas of my face that look like they have product that just never got blended in, and I know it was blended in because I blended it and you saw it on camera. So I still have the issues with dehydration. I feel like my forehead has tons of micro wrinkles showing up, especially around my crow's feet. Same issue. Things we discussed before pretty much remain the same. The weird thing about this foundation is that every time I saw myself from a distance, and even looking on the monitor right now, it looks good from a distance. And I filmed, you will have already seen it by now, but the cleansing balm video, I filmed it today, wearing the same face. I filmed it about 2 hours ago. So pretty late into the day. Now I guess it was more than 2 hours ago. It was after the daylight check-in, which I think that was at the 6-hour mark. So pretty far into wearing this foundation. I filmed that with no touch-ups whatsoever, except for my lipstick, which I didn't touch up now. But then I edited it so I can post it. It looks great on camera. Like, I wish it looked as good up close as Tati seems to think, because I couldn't help myself. I had to go watch that video, and I don't know. Because Tati had such high praise for this, I am definitely going to keep trying to make it work. It may be possible. I think I'm going to have to double up on the moisturizer underneath because it does feel slightly drying on my skin. And my skin is really pretty normal right now. I still dehydrate very easily, but skin was pretty normal this morning and it's pretty dry right now. So I will continue working on this one and trying to get it to work. But this whole grading process is based on dry and maturing skin. And you know, it didn't settle very much into fine lines, but it did settle into my deeper chin line. It's just overall sort of a cakey look to it on mature skin. It's tough to grade because I like it from a distance. And shade selection is wonderful. I feel like I don't have enough positive things happening on my face right now to get it out of the average range. I'm going to go C+. I'm going to hope that I can make this work better than it does, but there's just not enough going on for me to say this performs above average on dry and maturing skin. C+ for now. I will keep you guys posted. If anything changes, I will let you know. There you have it. There's your bonus foundation review for this week. I'm going to crank out as many foundation reviews as possible. I have a giant bin right behind me full of new foundations and concealers that I need to get through because there's so many new releases coming. I've got the Charlotte Tilbury coming. I've got the new NYX Born to Glow coming. I've got... what else is coming? They're all escaping me right now. But there's a ton of them behind me. They're all coming. Oh, the new Guerlain. Oh, I did buy the new Guerlain. A Milk makeup stick. Yeah, that was something I think I bought. Yeah. There's more coming where this came from. Hang in there. All the new releases. I know it seems like a ton of high-end foundations right now, but, you know, the new releases tend to go in waves where it's like all the prestige brands release, then all the drugstore brands release. And so I'm just riding the wave. Although Friday's foundation fix, here's your spoiler alert, will be the new hydrating foundation from Makeup Revolution. So hang in there. I am not abandoning the drugstore. I'm just following the wave of new releases. I also have the Urban, what was it? Urban Dream? Something like that. There's a couple drugstore ones coming. I got them. They're coming. As always, thanks a lot for taking some time out of your day to geek out over makeup with me. Come back every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern Time for new videos. If you want to see my list of foundation reviews, I've got over 130 of them ranked in a spreadsheet. Go to geekoutofwater.com, click the Foundation Fest link. I appreciate your time. I hope you guys all have an awesome day or night wherever you are in the world. Take care of each other. Bye-bye.